Our first 4 years of marriage was tough. We didn't attend church anywhere. We were just kind of doing our own thing. We were kind of being selfish. I would kind of do my thing, she would kind of do her thing, and we just kind of, we were together some, but I was more out with my friends more than anything else. I remember I started becoming an alcoholic. I was turning to alcohol basically on a lot of other things other than our marriage. I put it before my wife. And I know it was causing lots of trouble in our marriage. Kim was invited to come to Trinity Friends Church by her mother, Linda Anderson. So she went to church one Sunday morning, and when she came home, she had a different, she was like almost glowing. It was just a weird look. She was all excited to tell me she felt the Lord's presence at church. She just felt different. She was excited. It's a part of her I guess I didn't see for a long time. Not sure why I didn't see it, but she was telling me about it. So basically, she wanted me to join her at church because she wanted me to see what she was feeling. So over time, I don't know how many times she asked me to go, and I kept saying no, maybe next week. I don't feel good today. It was just kind of every excuse you could give, basically. But over time, she wore me down, so she got me to come. The first time we came, it was nice, different. I just ready to go, so we just left. The second time, I did come back the second time. I do remember feeling much different this time. I could just tell something was happening, and I didn't like it. So I was ready to go. The preacher finally got done. He kind of said, we're going to do an altar call. So the invitation to the altar call, he was giving up, so we had to stand up. And I remember I standing up, and I thought, I'm not going to go anywhere. I just felt different, but I thought I was just standing there and fighting it. So they said the songs, I Surrender All. And I just felt a presence that I can't describe. It was overcoming me. As we started to sing, I remember standing in the pew. I couldn't fight it anymore. I couldn't stand there anymore. No matter how much I wanted to fight and stand, the Lord had other plans. So I stepped out of the pew, and I found myself at the altar. I don't know how I got there. I just remember being there, and I'm just sobbing, and I'm just very emotional. I don't know who all was around me, but I do remember somebody putting their hand on my shoulder, and somebody was praying for me, and I'm just sitting there crying. And then I remember looking up, and it was Kim's uncle, Neil Hammonds. He asked me if I wanted to turn my life over to the Lord. And I definitely at that point knew that's what I needed. And so I said yes. So he said, we're going to say the sinner's prayer. But before we say this, he goes, you just got to know that, when you say this, you have to mean it. You have to turn away from your ways, and I got to follow his ways. And I said, I need that. Yes, that's what I want to do. So after we prayed the sinner's prayer. And if anybody knows Neil Hammonds, he's an emotional, passionate guy. I think he was crying more than I was. And I was crying pretty good. So at that point, I just felt a calmness come over me. I can't describe. It's like the weight's been lifted over your shoulder. I just felt totally different. I was an alcoholic. The first thing I always wanted to do is, go out and get drunk, or go out and be with my friends and go out and drink, basically. But I can honestly say, from that time that Neil prayed with me for this sinner's prayer, when I asked Jesus to come to my heart, he took the alcohol totally away from me. Shortly after that, we found out Kim was pregnant with our firstborn son, Adam. I know it wasn't our timing, but it was his timing.
Then we had Kelsey 3 years later, and we had a great Sunday school class. We were coming to training friends, and things were going great. But then the kids got older, they got busy and got involved in different things. Brad got a different job where he was working the weekends, and it was really tough. It was a tough time in our lives, and we were pulled apart again. And we had let God not become the center of our lives anymore. We had become busy and let outside things get in our marriage. And then once again, we really thought that we were going to possibly get a divorce. It's when we were broken and had no other hope that we realized we needed God in our lives, and we were never going to walk away from Him again. It's been said that if you have a rough life and you've been through tough times, you have a soft heart for God, and I'm thankful for that. Because of all the things we've been through, it gives you compassion for others. We have a compassion for marriage because we know that without God we wouldn't be together. This August will be 30 years of marriage, and I know that without Him in our lives, we would have never made this milestone. You just can't give up on each other, and you've got to forgive and forget.
So if you are out there and you are struggling and you need somebody to talk to, we'd be more than willing to talk to you. We are not perfect in any ways at all, but through God's grace, we are still here together fighting this fight. Lamentations 3:22 and 23. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness.